Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Vibra got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on a daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibra finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra is the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Hope you had a great week, great Halloween. I know where we are here, it is about 45 degrees with 50-mile-per-hour winds, so not a good night for the trick-or-treaters. Not really a good month for October. Seems like that never came true. So now, are we going to have Dumpvember? I don't think so. I think the ETFs coming out are going to spark some major catalysts and some bullish momentum heading into the close out of the year and into early 2026. But nobody knows except the market makers and insiders. That's why you just have to be positioned perfectly in the right assets so you can let the pump come to you. That way you're not scrambling around everywhere trying to load up on coins you were looking at or you forgot to buy. So be smart and everything will work out. And my man Fast Abdul is here. What's up, brother?
Hey, Adam. Thanks for having me again. I heard you say it was 45 degrees. I'll raise you 28 degrees in snow.
Oh, well, we are probably a couple weeks behind you, unfortunately, that time of year.
Yep. But where I live, we always say it snows by Halloween, and I don't remember Halloween where there wasn't snow on the ground.
Dude, I remember when I was little growing up, there was always by Christmas, there was snow on the ground. And we haven't had snow on the ground for Christmas in at least 10, 12 years now. So it's changing.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
Yeah, I know. I'm not complaining. You know, we've had 2 Christmases in 2017 and last year, we were able to play golf on Christmas Day.
If global warming's a thing, not everybody's going to be sad about it necessarily.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
certainly, yeah. Where I live, I think we could use like 4 or 5 degrees. It would be okay.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that Bill Gates came out and said the whole climate change thing is a complete hoax?
I did not see that.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy, not a scientist.
Yeah.
But, interesting. But like whether it's a hoax or not, there's been a lot of money made off it one way or another. So like I think there's there could definitely be hoaxes within the truth one way or another.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember vividly in like 2022, 2023 streaming all bear market. They constant talking about the ESG thing for a while and how hard they were pushing that. And it seems to have really backfired on Europe, the whole green initiative, because they went hard with it over there.
Yep. Yeah, I think like my personal view is there's only one way to do that, right? And it's probably not going to be very popular. You need to go hardcore on nuclear power absolutely everywhere. It's the only way you could get the kilowatt power that you need to run like factories and stuff, and like all the like solar, wind stuff. Like it doesn't work at night, which is a huge problem. And battery technology is not good enough and too expensive and causes way too much waste. I think nuclear is actually the answer.
Oh, yeah, that's a real good point because I've been obviously researching AI and a lot of that stuff, and our system right now cannot handle the electricity that's needed for the whole AI industry. And I was going down some rabbit holes, and it looks like they have those little, they're like little black boxes, and it's like it's kind of the Tesla towers that they had back in the day where they were able to give electricity to certain areas. And
Right, okay, like transmit electricity.
yeah, and I'm hearing rumors that Elon might be putting them into his factories and bringing out a new type of energy that obviously it's older energy, but if you bring that out, you can't push the oil narrative so bad. So once we get to that point where we just can't physically have that much electricity for the compute, we need, yeah, like I said, nuclear or something even stronger that I believe they are hiding.
They've been talking about cold fusion and stuff like that for a long time. Nuclear is strong enough if you scaled it. It's scalable too, right? So that you could have like enough power to cover everything we need. Then things like electric cars and stuff would work great because, like, it'd be cheap electricity. And in fact, if you needed an even cleaner way, you could have cars that burn hydrogen, which you can make using water and electricity. You just need a big source of electricity. You can have as much hydrogen as you want. They already have buses that run on hydrogen and stuff like that. It's yeah, far from impossible. But yeah, list unlimited power is what everybody wants. Nobody wants to cut back. Like the Western world is not going to cut back. Developing nations for sure are not going to cut back. So it's like, yeah, we just have to agree that we're not going to cut back and then find a way to make it work.
Yeah, it's 0 point energy. That's the name of it. It keeps like escaping my mind, but that's the name of it. I know Sami's been doing a lot of videos on it here and there. He does his UFO stuff here and there, but the 0 point energy ones are really cool. And that would be awesome if Elon figured out a way to bring it back.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elon's got his fingers in a couple pies.
Oh yeah. Just a few. Did you see? I saw this. It came on my feed like this 20-minute interview. Oh no, it wasn't an interview. It was basically a speech Elon was giving on how good Trump is doing for the world and how much progress is being made and how people aren't blaming him for the economy. That actually Chuck Schumer and like 5 Democrats in DC are literally holding the entire party hostage, and it really made them look bad. And people watch Elon.
Yeah, no, yeah. Elon's a smart guy. So yeah, people listen to him. That's a yeah, that he probably has a point. Like I don't think it's specific to Trump though. The like party infighting at the cost of progress is not a new thing, right? Like that's happening every year with every president. When it was a Democratic president, it was, on the other side, they were holding whatever back, whether everybody agreed on it or not. Like so that like yeah, bipartisan politics is problematic in general.
Yeah, I really try to just not pay any attention to it unless it's like something that you can't ignore. But no, it's meant to distract you, man. It's like they're both right and left are 2 wings of the same bird if you really zoom out. And it's yeah, bro. It's not my cup of tea, but it exists, and unfortunately, people care about it.
Yep. Facts. Anyway, more importantly, what's happening in crypto?
Oh yeah. So you launched a project this week, if I recall, the Vault coin. Why don't you let the people know a little about it, how it's going?
Sure, will do. So the Vault 369 protocol is actually going to be a stablecoin protocol on Pulse Chain. It'd be different from what people have seen before, but it is going to be a fork of Liquidity with some pretty intense changes to fix some problems that I perceive. So I don't want to go too deep into, the weeds of how it will work. But what we've done now is we've launched the token early at what I believe to be an undervalued price, considering the things that I know are going to happen. And there's been a pretty massive uptake. And we did like an interesting twist. Instead of launching the protocol with the token same time, everybody's following at the same time, we're doing it in stages. So I actually launched the token on Pump.tires of all places. And I talked to my devs beforehand and made sure that a token could be launched separately from the project and then insert it into the project, and it 100% can. I thought that was the case, and it is. And in this case, yeah, the token has burnt liquidity against Pulse because it was launched on Pump.tires. So I'm hoping to make the first Pump.tires token that has deep, very practical and hopefully very profitable utility.
Nice, bro. Yeah, sounds exciting. What any timeline on the next rollout of events? Or you kind of just letting devs do their thing, and when it's ready, it's ready?
They're doing their thing, but like you can see if you click in the top right hand corner there, you can actually see we have like basically the DApp developed, and we're getting towards just finishing the back end stuff. We've already done a couple deployments. We need to do a couple more like on the blockchain, and then do audits and stuff like that. So we're likely a month or two out, something like that. But I don't rush that kind of stuff, so I give zero promises on timeline. Because these kind of protocols have a lot of money that go into them, and it has to be safe, right? So if it takes a month, it takes a month. If it takes 2 months, it takes 2 months, and there has to be an audit no matter how long it takes. And if there's any issues that rings up, then we have to fix them. So it will take what it takes for that. But we have the concept down. One of the main things we're doing here is it's a multi-collateral fork. So you can use more than one token for collateral. So like liquid loans, for example, you probably know, uses Pulse, right? On day one, we intend to use Pulse as well as VPLS and UPLS, right? Which are the liquid stake Pulse, so that you're earning on basically. So you have a collateral that will go up in value versus Pulse. So VPulse, for example, the protocol, you'll be able to mint it directly via the protocol. It's interacting with the vouch protocol to get you VPulse, liquid stake Pulse, which is redeemable for Pulse at any time. And so we have, collateral that you're taking a loan against that's actually probably going to be worth more over time versus if you were just putting Pulse in. And then since it'll be an upgradable contract, we can actually add additional collaterals over time, right? So, if the scenario changes and there's something that, some new thing that's really big that should be used for collateral in a loan protocol, we'll be able to add it in the future, right? Whereas the like ink printer that I worked on, Liquid Loans, EarnFlex, the other liquidity forks, they have set code where nothing can be added. So which has good and bad points. Like they're 100% immutable code. With Vault 369, like the important parts are immutable, meaning they can't be changed. So like the dev can't steal the money stuff, but new collaterals can be added on with a DAO vote, right? And other like smaller things can be tweaked that aren't security issues, depending on what's going on for the health of the protocol.
That's cool. So and if by some chance PDI pegged in the future, or Richard launched his own stable coin in the future, you can then, if the community wants to, vote them in as new collateral.
But in that case, that wouldn't be a practical example, just because this protocol will make a stable coin, right? So the things that it would need as collateral are volatile assets, right? Like
Oh,
you
okay.
wouldn't put in $1 and borrow $1 against $1, right? You put in you put in $1 worth of Pulse, $1 worth of VPulse or UPulse, and then you borrow against that, right? So, and if the price goes up, so let's say you put in $10,000 and you borrow $5,000, then the price of Pulse doubles, and then all those things double. VPulse and UPulse also double or more than double. Then you could borrow another $5,000, and your collateral ratio is still the same, right? You're still at 50%. Then it doubles again, right? You could borrow another $10,000 on that same $10,000 worth of Pulse that you put in initially, right? So it's like, going into a bull market for Pulse chain, things like this can be very useful to people. It gives them an option to take cash out without selling the core asset, right?
Yeah.
So the upside being like, okay, you put in $10,000 for the Pulse and took out $5,000 because you needed $5,000, and then the price of Pulse does a 10x, right? Well, you want your Pulse back now because that $10,000 for the Pulse is worth $100,000. You have to pay back the $5,000 you took out initially to get your $100,000 for the Pulse back.
Wow. Okay. So it'd be more like if Ink or something was the clear winner in the future, and everyone wants Ink as added on there. So it'd be more Ink or PulseX, or if PTGC starts going crazy and everyone loves it. So that
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, those are good examples, but we can get even more complex. Like I've done a study of things that have been done on other chains and with other protocols, not necessarily loan protocols, but where they're using the technology that I need. And we could do things like lend against liquidity tokens, right? So, or
Ooh.
even farming tokens. So you could be like in the PulseX farms, for example, farming Pulse versus PulseX, which, you get it. There's an LP token involved when you do that, right? And you're earning ink. You could take that, you put it into the protocol, you borrow against that, right? It's still earning ink on the initial amount that you put in, right? And then so you put in $10,000 for the Pulse XLP, it's earning ink while it's sitting there, right? And hopefully the assets are going up in value inside that LP pair as well. And then you could take that $5,000 and you could double down if you want. You could do leverage farming and not put it that way, right? Or just maintain a larger farming position without selling when you need some cash for something. And then of course you can pay it back to regain your property, so to speak. So leverage against LP tokens, leverage against V3 liquidity positions. That one's going to be a little more complicated. It'll take a little bit longer, but the LP tokens I'm particularly interested in. I think that's going to be big. The concept of leverage farming, where it's like
Yes.
eventually I just want a dial where you could be like, oh, I want to leverage my farming by 200%. Pull the dial to whatever you think is within the safe range, and then and then have an option to put in $500, but get $900 worth of farming power, right? Like that sort of concept. Still, people have to be really careful with like anything that sounds like leverage, and like a loan is innately leverage, but this is much safer leverage than what you hear people getting liquidated on on other chains or on centralized exchanges where they're doing 40x leverage, 50x leverage. This is like, you put in 10,000, you borrow 5,000, you could borrow more, you could borrow up to about 9,000, but if you do it at a reasonable level, you put in 10, you borrow 5, you're probably in a pretty safe position if you keep an eye on it.
So it's 50%. So you could borrow 10,000 if you put up 20. Is 50% is the ratio?
You could, well, 50% is a comfortable ratio in my opinion.
Yeah.
The protocol will allow you to borrow like 90%.
Oh, it will. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but like there's still a way larger safety margin than doing leverage, like 30x leverage somewhere else. Because if you put in $10,000, you borrow $9,000, you have the $9,000 in stable coins. So effectively in your hand, you have $9,000. If the price of the token drops quickly and you end up getting liquidated, meaning that you lose the remainder of what you had in that vault, you still have the $9,000 in your hand, right? And it could be a win, like a stop loss, right? Because if you put in 10,000, you took out 9, the price drops so that your 10 is now worth 8, but you still have 9. You won, right? So there's going to be winners and losers in those scenarios, but it's not, I don't think people should get liquidated on purpose. Some do, like advanced players for various reasons, but the safety margin of you have the money, you don't have to pay it back, is reasonable. When you get liquidated, your loan is paid off by default, right? And like Fast Abdul is not going to come knocking on your door for the remaining $1,000.
That's cool, bro. I like it. I'm surprised nobody's thought of this already.
Well, it's effectively we're looking at a souped up version of liquid loans, earn or flex, right? So like this exists, and they work the same way with that that loan part that I just talked about, right? That's
Yeah. With different assets, I just being able to add different assets as collateral. That's really cool.
There are some like that on other chains.
Yeah.
But Pulse Chain's done very well with liquidity forks. If you actually look at there's a total of 39 liquidity forks last time I checked, and no, it was 42 now. Pulse Chain had 4 of the top 5 by TVL.
Wow.
So we do very well with those.
Yeah. And this is the time too, bro. I mean, the longer we stay suppressed like this, it just gives people more opportunity to, to leverage against it. And when it, well, we assume it's going to start to climb whenever it does. Yeah, this is the time you want to explore stuff like this. Not once ETH's at 10K.
I agree, but I would encourage anybody to, before you touch this or any other lending protocol, read the white paper, ask all the questions, make sure you understand. The people who end up being unhappy are usually the ones who didn't understand what they were doing and why they were doing it, right? Because it's not, yeah, nothing's free money. There's a reason that these things exist. And it's like they can be used by regular people within certain margins, but like you have to make sure you at least understand the basics of it. Like why should I borrow 5,000 instead of 9,000? Like, what does liquidation mean? What does redemption mean? Like, we could talk about it for hours, but the basic thing that I need people to do is read the white paper and go through all the details and make sure you understand before you press a single button. So I've intentionally not released the white paper yet because we're doing a different thing with the vault token. We're doing some contests. We're doing some, almost kind of like a meme thing because we've launched with Pumped Out Tires, which has been great because we're getting a totally different audience than would have wanted to talk about my weirdo utility protocol. And there will be lots of those guys when it's time, but it's definitely getting a different audience for me, which is hilarious.
Yeah, dude, no, that was smart. I mean, I'm basically handicapped when it comes to creating memes, and I wouldn't even know where to start. I can't even make a thumbnail that looks good. So the meme thing isn't for me, but people do love it. But I was seeing stuff people have been putting back, and they really have been responding to it and getting creative.
Yep. And the contest is actually multifaceted. Like I have like a meme option. Like you can put up a meme to double your prize, but really to enter the contest, people pretty much just need to join the Telegram room. And if you put up a meme and your name is drawn, then I'll double your prize money. Right. So it's like, and I will push that a little more later that, hey, join this Telegram room and be entered to win. But like right now, it's like, join the Telegram room and post a meme and you'll win twice as much. And then I'm doing daily prizes, right? So I'm giving away 1,000 to 10,000 vault tokens every day to what I deem to be the best meme. But in the end, we're going to give away 1,000 stable coins, which would be 2,000 if you posted a meme, $500 in vault tokens, which would be 1,000 if you post a meme. And I have 1 or 2 if you posted a meme, Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. Pulse Chain version that we'll be giving out as well. So I've been trying to draw in some of the non-Pulse Chain Bored Ape Yacht Club bros, but not sure if that's working or not. But I did get some hits on that anyway.
Yeah, bro,
I think I got a couple because some guys joined the Telegram room and started asking questions that didn't seem like they were Pulse Chain guys, and I think it was from the Bored Ape Yacht Club thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is definitely the for sure I would say, yeah, just the blue chip, the one that everybody knows, the original. And what's the utility of them? You get to go hang out with the other holders at these parties. Like, I haven't seen any real
in theory, yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of them are still really expensive. I think like originally, like there's like $15 million sometimes. Now they're still selling on Ethereum for 30 grand and stuff like that. But on Pulse Chain, I've seen them sell for $1,500 copies, right? Like when the fork was made, it wasn't just the coins that got copied. It was like every NFT got copied too. So there's some like vintage OG Ethereum like things like Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs on Pulse Chain that like they're not worth no money, like $1,500 a pop, right? Like, I bought some of those things for like $60. Just like I'm pretty happy with how they've done.
Dude, that's really cool. Yeah. And I think that same type thing gonna happen, I feel like, with a lot of the blue chips on Ethereum, like Aave and Chainlink. and even like Hyperliquid or whatever is popular over there. When we had that scam wick a couple weeks ago with the exchanges, ETH was like $7 to $1,700 to do a transaction. So if ETH gets popular again, it is now clearly unusable. Pulse chain, once the people start to see, oh man, my chain link is worth $3 over here. Oh, or my Aave, it's 300 on ETH, and now it's worth $25, $30 on Pulse chain. Once other things start to accrue value, if Richard pumps one of them to parity or SHIB or something like that, that opens up the door, and that light bulb starts to click. Other people like, oh shit, well, what if they could do that? Why can't we do that? And I think it'll start like a chain reaction of Ethereum copies on Pulse chain that people start to really value.
Maybe, yeah, and there's a fair amount of stuff that still has a lot of money in it, right? Like you mentioned, some like Aave, SHIB, Maker, things like that. There's enough liquidity that guys could come over and sell into it. And I think that was part of Richard's original marketing plan, right? Was that it was the world's biggest airdrop. So if but like, which kind of hasn't worked out that well, I would say overall, but it could still have its day. And those, like when Pulse chain's pumping and Ethereum's dumping and gas prices are high on Ethereum, I think those people might start to look up those old Richard Hart tweets about you have copies on Pulse chain.
Yeah, I really think they're going to because last cycle it was just so unusable, bro. I remember having to spend $500 to end a hex stake. And I remember some of these NFT mints I was getting into, transactions would fail and they'd lose $4,000 in Ethereum. And that's going to happen again. People, I think, are just assuming because gas has been so cheap for the last 6 months, being like one or under one gwei, that it's going to continue to be like that. But as soon as that reality sets in that, oh shit, we're going back to where we were, or it's now $35-$40 to do a swap, people are going to be sick of it, bro. I feel like most people I talk to are under the assumption that the gas price thing is under control on ETH, and I just don't think it is.
I think it's improved. Like they've upgraded the tech a little bit, and there is lower gas fees by and large. But there, like you said, there's still some days when things are busy where it can go into the hundreds, if not the thousands. And if it's not the same for every single type of transaction. You're doing something complicated. You're launching a protocol on ETH. Well, that's like even today on a slow day, that's going to cost you $3,000 in ETH. Like it's like big transactions cost big ETH.
Mm-hmm. And as if ETH does get to 10, 12, 15K, last cycle we were used to this at 3 or 4K. So now you're talking about 3 to 4x the USD value of that. And that's just going to turn people off because there are so many more solutions now, and so much. It's just so easy to bridge from Ethereum to these other chains or even cross chain than it was 4 years ago. So I think Pulse chain is going to really start to pick up traction this cycle.
Yeah, I agree. I think there'll be some traffic to be sure. But like it's not going to be when everybody expects it to be. Like I don't know if it's before Christmas or when it's going to be, but like when we start to pump and they start to dump and their prices are super high, like people will start to flow over, and it will all magically come together, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too, bro. Richard he's too smart. He knows what's going on behind the scenes, and I feel like he's been making good friendships or maybe even collaborations for the future with some of the big players in this. I just can't see with everything that happened to CZ that Richard hasn't been talking to him with the shit that they both went through. It's the same thing. Why not team up?
Indeed. Yeah. Like those guys were both, the most wanted, right? They caught CZ, obviously. I think Richard's probably going to resolve that red notice thing pretty soon. Just a feeling from stuff going on lately. But regardless, there's definitely how many billionaires are there? They must know each other.
Yeah. especially in this space. Like Richard is one of the probably 5 richest people in crypto. Everyone knows who he is. That's up at the
Yeah,
top.
like you have that giant ETH wallet that just disappeared and went to Tornado Cash. You don't think the big ETH bros are freaking out about that? Like, there was, you remember, like, the Ethereum Foundation moved like pretty much the same amount of ETH out of their
Mhm.
wallet and sold it. So I think they're trying to front run Richard hard. That's almost certainly what they were doing.
Did they sell it? Because I didn't know. I didn't see. I heard it got moved somewhere, but it wasn't sold yet, and that was the
I could
last
be
I.
wrong. I didn't dig into it, but it feels like they're mirroring Richard Hart for some reason.
Yeah, or whatever he did, wherever his ETH was, if it was in a pool, wherever it was in pools or staked, whatever, they probably replaced it. It feels like to me, whatever he did, they took ETH and moved it to fill whatever he was doing over there.
Could be something like that, yeah.
But either way, it
Yeah,
just
'cause
shows
it's
that
just too uncanny that it's the same amount, right? Like, why would it be the
exactly.
same amount?
Yeah. What the same exact amount within what a day or two of him doing that? That's not coincidence, I don't think.
Yeah, so, like, they know him, they're watching him, right? Like, Vitalik knows Richard's name, I guarantee.
Yeah, 100%. Said B Roots, Spy Richard Hart. I wouldn't use tablets for marketing. I don't think it's effective. I would have spent the money on grants. 15 million on grants versus tablets. Imagine doing 25,000 for each grant that a dev or team gets for developing on Pulse Chain. Give it to them off doing something unique or complete. If it's a meme coin, it has to reach over 100 million market cap with burnt liquidity, not a liquid. That's over 600 devs creating good real projects. We'd be taking all the goods. I mean, I don't know. I agree with him. There would have to be like a very a DAO or something that was in place to vote on who to give grants to, because that could
Yeah,
get very political real quick. Who knows who's getting the money?
oh, totally.
How do you
And,
do
like,
that right?
what 25K is not enough to build anything substantial, right? Like, you're pretty much limited to meme coins. Like, for 25K, you could add a little bit of liquidity and make probably a pretty nice website. But, like, you're not launching serious DeFi protocols for 25K, not audited ones, like, at the very least, right? An audit can cost 25K. And that could be a thing, free audits for Pulse Chain protocols, something like that. But, like, I think this concept is good, but I think it should be like a higher number, with more oversight, like 100K, 200K, and then bring in the big boys, right? And, like, unfortunately, I wouldn't be the target of that 200K. I'm already building on Pulse Chain. You want to bring in like Aave, like the big teams on Ethereum, who would deploy on Pulse Chain if it was paid for, and that could be the ticket. But it needs to be a much bigger number. But as far as the, like, doing that versus the tablets, I think they're completely different things. Like, he gives a number of $15 million. If $15 million was what was going to tablets, I think those tablets probably cost about $1 a piece delivered to someone's door. So it's 15 million tablets. It's a lot of tablets, right? Like, and if they were targeted properly, like hitting the right people who had already bought crypto anywhere, maybe people who had previously purchased Hex, if you could find a way, like on Ethereum, you could find a way to do that, which could be a thing. I think it would actually have a really big long-term effect.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Grants
agree,
could be a
bro.
thing too, though, for sure.
Yeah. No, I've been talking to a project that's building on Stellar, and they got a $5 million grant from the Stellar Development Foundation.
Yeah,
And
that's serious
they
money.
yeah, and we were talking to them last year. They want to do some marketing and stuff, but it was the bear market and they decided to hold back, and it would have been a pure waste of money. And the chart would have just kept declining. They would have been sinking money into it to keep, and it's just waiting for the right time. It's so smart. So it's like it's a slippery slope, man. But with these tablets, it's free publicity, and the amount of people that are just enraged that these were even able to be sent out. They go right to Twitter and they post it, and it starts to get lots of traction. So he's getting really good advertising from it. And I forget the name of the lady, but I think you were on stream with her. There's a Chinese lady, and she got one of
Yeah,
them.
Kim Tran. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. She's the She was one of the people who received the tablets, and she's from like, she's Silicon Valley or something. She used to work for Apple. She was smart. She understands. She started asking some questions, and we've had some more people come up lately. There was one reasonably big account that received a tablet. Let me just find it here. But like like people there, it was like another positive interaction. We've seen positive, we've seen negative, but the secret is that I don't think many of these tablets have actually gone out yet. Like I think the number is like 100, 140K of what I think is going to be millions. So it's the tip of the iceberg as far as how effective they are, right? And even if they are effective, like it's like this kind of marketing takes time to click in. Like somebody has to, like, the new tablets have a fridge magnet, which is awesome. So you can put it on your fridge. You're walking back and forth in front of your fridge 43 times a day. You're reading pulsechain.com. Eventually you're going to go to pulsechain.com. But people need time to like digest it, to learn, especially if they're no coiners. It might take 3 months before somebody's actually presses a button and buys something.
Yeah, I completely agree, bro. I think that this, for the amount of money that this cost, this is some of the best way to get in front of people. You let people do the work for you. You send it to however many people, certain amount are going to get triggered and go right away. A certain amount of people are just, they get free stuff and they look into it. And Richard, he's very smart with marketing. He's been doing this for a long time. He was the spam king, allegedly, back in the day. So I feel like even if it doesn't work,
like it, if they talk about it, we still win, right? Like it's like there's gonna be there's gonna be some intense interest from guys who are like, oh no, this is a scam, and post it on Twitter. They don't realize it, but those guys are working for us too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Raxy. 33, 24-year-old crypto millionaire. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Terrible.
No,
he gets
bro.
a tablet. He starts talking to Pulse Chain people, and like, by all accounts, from what I read anyway, he's like now on Pulse Chain. He's, it sounds like he's purchased Pulse. He's learning, asking questions about how do I stake my hex, right? And he's really impressed with all the responses he gets. So it's like, there's going to be these people out there, and one guy who's a millionaire is worth a lot of guys who are throwing in $400. So,
exactly, bro.
It's all about the targeting.
And look at this: Corey, King Daniel, Sami, Hexo. They all responded, bro. And that's what you want to see when you're new and you just put that out, and the biggest influencers in the community come out and welcome you here. You don't see that shit anywhere.
Look at that message there. Like he asked Grok who are the biggest Pulse Chain influencers, and then he started like those people started responding to him. I think almost everybody on the Grok.
Yeah.
Grok's a wild card, right? Like I ran it through Grok 3 times, got 3 different answers, but like almost everybody he popped on there responded to him. So like I think he felt pretty special, right? So I think Pulse Chain is going to have that effect because we're small enough now that you can still get that. Like like Hexologist, Cryptography, like the big guys, they will respond to you, right? And like the people who make protocols like me on Pulse Chain, like they will respond to you. Try talking to the founder of Aave, right? Try send CZ a message, see if he responds. They don't. So people will like that.
Yeah, bro, look at this. Is great. My head is spinning. Thanks for the warm welcome. I feel honored. I followed. Sure seems the way the community. This community is insane. Dude, this is what you want to see. Ian coming in like a former MMA fighter. It's like
totally. And like Kim Tran's experience was very similar. Like she posted it on Pulse Chain. Sorry, she posted on X, and her first post was, I received this weird thing in the mail. I see people are selling them on eBay. I'm going to sell mine on eBay. And then like, I don't know if she ever sold on eBay because she's now like showing up in all the spaces. I've been on 2 streams with her. I think she's been on a couple of other streams. Like, it's like if every even 100,000 tablets creates a new influencer for Pulse Chain, and we send out 10 million tablets, the math will be awesome. Because like between this guy and Kim Tran, like they're even at this level, they're small time KOLs on Pulse Chain, right? And they have a reach. So like if you can make, you know, 1 million micro influencers and a couple of those will turn into macro influencers, like, you know, that is a pretty good advertising payoff that will last more than a week.
Yeah, and think you're a crypto millionaire in this space. You're probably talking to other crypto millionaires in this space. His circle is probably some people with money. Once you get to that point, you start making new friends, meeting new people.
Yep.
And now any of those people ever ask or why that pulse chain thing, he's only going to say great things about it.
Definitely. Yeah. There's been other like, yeah, big people starting to show up. There's one guy, I can't remember his name, but like I saw him post and I was like, oh, he's got 500K followers. And I responded to him like, oh yeah, welcome to Pulse Chain. And a bunch of other people responded to me like, oh, he's been here for a long time. He was in Hex from like the beginning. So like bigger
Yeah.
guys are going to start coming back, right? Which I
It
think will probably be a thing.
was like Jason Williams or something. Wasn't
Yeah,
Jason?
Jason Williams is one of them. Yeah. I got his account. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this here right here. Yeah, bro. 277,000 followers.
Yep. Now he's one that I don't know if he's been here very long, but he recently started posting about Pulse Chain.
Yeah.
And he seems stoked on it. Says I'm bridging over from Solana. He posts some like $14 million screenshot. Now I don't know if he's actually bridged over $14 million, but or something like that. But like he's saying positive things about Pulse Chain, and he has a large non-Pulse Chain audience, right? So it's like deal.
I'm running my own server on Pulse Chain. No one is pruning, no ideology, no violation of canon law. It's fucking awesome.
He really liked that he could download the PulseX DEX to his desktop computer and run a DEX on his desktop computer, which you can do with the DEX and you can do with the bridge. And most people don't do that. I don't recommend that to everybody, but like, yeah, if you're computer savvy, you can literally run PulseX and run the bridge to Pulse Chain off your desktop computer with, you know, not without connecting to a website. Totally possible.
Yep. The XRP community is one of the biggest, largest crypto communities on earth. So when it gets flipped by one of the strongest communities on earth, Hex and Pulse Chain, the world will watch the world flip.
You bet.
Yeah, bro, this is great. This is what you want to see, and I knew it's inevitable. Like when you build something good, and it actually is a threat to the mainstream garbage, you're gonna get so much pushback. The FUD storms, they pay bots and fake accounts to come spam your threads, and when from someone that doesn't know better, they see a tweet, and then you get these spam bots coming in where all the responses. It really does change the way people look at it. Like they do go to the comments and stuff. So you can give the you can make stuff look so much worse than it is or so much better with just fake analytics bots and fake traction.
Yep. I've been like I was talking to Wolf about this the other day. Like I've been watching these accounts and that I block them sometimes because they're annoying, but like and I don't block very many people. So it's like I only block what I consider to be a malicious account. And there's a bunch of these accounts popping up, replying to my stuff, to other people's stuff with like negative Pulse Chain comments. And all these accounts are themed like they're Pulse Chain accounts. Like it'll be like PulseX to the moon will be the account name or something like that, right? But like they'll only go back to like August, right, for like the creation date of the account, and all they do is FUD Pulse Chain, even though they're named after Pulse Chain in some way, shape, or form. So it almost seems like a coordinated thing. And like I've banned dozens of them. I think there's hundreds of them like that have a Pulse Chain friendly tag, but the only thing they talk about is how Pulse Chain is bad. It feels extremely coordinated.
Yeah, it does, bro. And I went to a conference. It was an NFT.com conference in 2022. And I ran into some of the bigger influencers in the community. Not in the community here, but in like the crypto community in general. And I was talking to him and I was kind of just picking his brain like, bro, why do you never mention, Pulse Chain or Richard Hart or a couple of these other projects? And he told me that it was in his contract with Binance. He could not mention certain coins.
Interesting. Yeah, Gatekeeping at its finest.
So that's, yeah, bro. I heard that. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. But that just shows you that no one's going to do that to something they're not scared of. They're only doing that because it's a threat.
Agreed.
Yep. So yeah, Tam Hex in the community. She's been in a bunch of spaces now. It's growing, bro. I love it.
Yeah, no. Tam's a hottie. It's great.
Yeah.
We have some really good women in the community, like attractive women who are like smart enough to talk about crypto. Like it's a it's a small commodity, and we seem to have more than our share. So I'm quite pleased with it.
That's
We have Corey and his sister. I'm not sure that's
Hocus Pocus popped up on the television from Halloween festivities, and tell me why Corey Costa is cry fagging on my screen right now.
Oh man. Well,
Well,
I just saw a video of him cry fagging 535 pounds. So
yeah.
I think
Well, he reposted it, so at least Corey is he's not having him. He's taking it well. He knows it's like it's not an attack at him. Yeah.
Yeah, Richard couldn't have picked a better target. I almost wonder if like he knew that, like he knows Corey, or like he's a known commodity. I almost wondered if he knew that would be the effect.
I think so. Heard of Richard Hart and Hex. He was sued by the SEC. Want to know the story yourself? My friends read the court transcript word for word from the case against him.
But they made it into like a screenplay, basically, right? Like
really?
Like yeah. Like Will Stevenson played the prosecutor, right? And I think Zenith played the defense, and I think I can't remember what SJ played the judge, right? Like they read the whole thing out, but they did it with style and emotion. Like it's not just somebody reading.
Dude, I'm gonna definitely put this up to watch later, because I read through some of it, or I listened to an audio that someone had of it, and bro, it was a joke. It was almost embarrassing. Like I was listening to him like
the SEC.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the judge
was
just completely, you could tell, just tearing into them. Like, how did you come up with this? You have how can you prove jurisdiction? Like, well, we thought you guys thought, or you have proof, and like she went after them.
Oh yeah, hardcore. Yeah, that judge was great. Yeah, Judge Peggy. That was a popular name for various reasons. But she really went after them. And when you like drill down on it, you find out that the SEC put their like B team on it, right? Like they had a new guy that they threw at that one, and then Richard showed up with like the $10 million A team, and they got destroyed, which was great.
Right. I didn't even think it was their B team. I think they brought in their interns.
Could be. Yeah. You're going to lose anyway, so you might as well cut your teeth on this one. Yeah, could have been the thing.
Yeah.
But like those lawyers that he uses are like that Richard uses are scary lawyers, right? Like you don't want to be on the other side of the table from those guys.
No, bro. And I feel like he has to, it's Elon's team of attorneys. Like at some point, no one from Richard's team or anyone reached out to Elon's team or anyone. I feel like there's got to be something going on behind the scenes. I'm hoping there is. There doesn't have to be.
Does Elon Musk know who Richard Hart is? Almost certainly, right? Like again, how many billionaires are there? Like that their names will be known. Like maybe they've met already. Could be a thing.
And even Trump Jr. definitely knows who Richard Hart is, without a doubt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was even that thing where his account got hacked, supposedly, and he, I think it tweeted out like that he loved hacks or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it tweeted some other separate from that, just derogatory things about various people or something. So it was like credible that it was a hack, but maybe it wasn't a hack. Maybe he just said it was a hack because then he could say what he wanted to.
Hey, that's what I'm thinking it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, this is crazy too. The U.S. government's closed. Meanwhile, the U.S. casually added another $100 billion in federal debt in 4 days.
Yeah. Okay. $100 billion, eh?
We still are shut down.
Need $1 billion to do a 10,000x. So
I know.
100 seems excessive to me.
Yeah, bro, this is the longest shutdown in U.S. history now.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
super. I. It almost seems like grown-ups. It's your responsibility as a grown-up to work with other grown-ups to resolve issues. Why can't these grown-ups do that?
It's literally Chuck Schumer and 5 people that are representing the entire Democratic Party, and they will not sign this deal or come across the aisle unless they give all these rights and money to immigrants. It was like a $500 million for some charity in like Ethiopia. They're sending $500,000 to like Haiti for transgender surgeries. Like, bro, it was wild the stuff that was in there.
That does sound wild, but like just those numbers versus the number on the screen are nothing, right?
Oh no, bro!
So
Trump just said we're printing like $6 trillion with this new big beautiful bill. So this is going to 40 trillion next year.
Mhm. Crazy. So, but like, yeah, like I don't know, make a deal, boys. Work it out. Get back to work. Maybe there's some sort of backroom deal between the Republicans and Democrats that everybody gets a month off.
Yeah, bro. Seriously. Yeah, I would be surprised.
You guys want Christmas off? Yeah, okay. Don't sign the bill.
Oh, you want Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween off this year?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, it's bad. But bro, there's I've watched crypto banter in the mornings just to like see what he talks about, and basically whatever he's saying is the inverse. He's like the Kramer to me of the space. But this week he actually put out a really good video. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and he was talking about how right now all the news is incredibly bullish. The stock market's making new all-time highs. All the earnings reports just came in, but Jerome Powell simply saying, "Oh, we don't know if cuts are certain next meeting in December." Everyone freaked out. So the market is has zero reliance on good news, bad news. News does not affect anything. It's the excuse we put in after and say, "Oh, the coin pumped because of XYZ," or "This it went down because of XYZ." When in reality, it's just the human emotions trading the market.
Yeah, very true.
And when people are worried that inflation's a little high, they're scared, they're not going to spend. But if they have it in their head that everything's looking good, I got money in my pocket, then they're more willing to put money in. And when people tell me that, bro, everybody's tapped out, there's no money anywhere, I disagree, because I collect Pokemon cards. And a year ago, it was dead. No one wanted them. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, people are fighting outside of Target and Walmart to get them now. They're sold out everywhere, and they're 4 times the price. So people are paying 3 times MSRP for boxes that just came out. So there is money to be spent. If people want something bad enough, they will find money for it. So I just don't believe that we're just in this spot where no one has money. We can't have a bull market. It's impossible. I don't believe it.
No. Yeah, especially when you look at like in crypto in particular, like the amount of money required for a crypto bull run, or more specifically, and of interest to me, a pulse chain bull run compared to a traditional market bull run like the stock market, etc., is very, very small, right? So like 1 billion into pulse chain versus 1 billion into the stock market, it's like a drop in the ocean or like a tidal wave is the comparison, right? Like it's completely different thing. Like 10,000x for all the core tokens, right? Or like a 3% pump one day on the stock market, right? Like it's not the same thing. So yeah, we just need one good day for things to turn around substantially.
Yeah, and why would Richard thin out all the liquidity if because that allows for extreme price gains, extreme volatility, but it also could work the other way. If everyone starts dumping when there's low liquidity, the chain's going to get nuked twice as hard. So I feel like he wouldn't do that. And potentially risk this thing cratering down to points where it's just people can't recover from it. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so either.
So we got to have faith in him, man. Like, I've been watching his videos since 2019, 2020, and he's always preached the long term hold for 10 years. He always talked about the early Bitcoin people and how if Hex or something like that was available and people could have locked up their Bitcoin back in the day, how many more millionaires and billionaires would there be that fumbled their bags and sold at $100 or $200?
Oh yeah, no, it'd be substantial.
So he always preached that message and how if that existed back then, it would be completely different for those people, and how just founders and hodlers are the only ones that win in crypto. And he just always preached the long term, be patient, delay gratification. So the fact that people can't listen to him and say, okay, this is his message, this is what he preaches, and then Pulse Chain launches and they expect a 10,000x within 3 months. It's like, give the guy a cycle or two to cook. Look at ETH. It took 3 or 4 years from 2016 to like 2019, 2020 before it really took off from like 80 to $100 plus. We are in a way better position 3 years into Pulse Chain than Ethereum is. Don't look at the chart, but just fundamentally wise, community wise, the builders, the upside, like you can't even compare it.
Definitely. I still think we're going to see Richard stream sometime soon. Definitively, he's pretty much said that there'll be like a Christmas video. But I think we're going to see him live, which is going to be huge. The people that remember know, but the people who don't remember, it's going to hit them by surprise. And when we start seeing Richard go on with like big cross-chain KOLs, right, big names, Joe Rogan, who knows. We could see some interesting things start to happen.
Yeah, bro. Because I just feel like right now, like people that I talk to, like they reach out to me because they know I cover a wide variety of projects, or typically the better stuff around crypto, and their image or their perception of Richard Hart is he's like this male stripper who's out of control.
And that was he cultivated that image like every other image he's cultivated in the past on purpose, right? So it's like, people did what he wanted them to do, which sometimes was, sell, leave, so that the diamond hand people would have a better long-term future. So, but I think when he comes back, I don't think we're going to see stripper pole Richard. I think it's going to be black shirt Richard. I think it's going to be, serious, but still, still funny and quirky Richard. And he's probably going to be talking to some big names.
Yeah, he put a tweet out maybe 3 or 4 months after the rage marketing was over and said like that Richard Hart is dead. The old Richard is back. And I remember that tweet. So people just forget it. And it's just so funny to me, just the perception of him from people around the space. And when they do hear his live streams, when he comes out and he's the well-spoken, really smart, humble guy, people are going to be like, what the hell? This is not what I was expecting at all.
Great.
And so, yeah, bro, everything's so bullish. Like the news across crypto, stable coins are pumping, and the Solana ETF, a milestone, Hedera's ETF just launched this past week. So we're starting to see the ETFs launch, and I think this really will bring a lot of liquidity into the market with these spot ETFs, because when a share gets sold of one of these ETFs, they have to go and market buy that crypto and hold it in institutional custody. So with spot, they're gonna create. There's gonna be shortages, supply shocks of some of these assets because there's just not that much on exchanges. And when you have Wall Street and all of finance trying to pour in, because we know that 60-40 rule of stocks to bonds, that is annihilated. At first they said, 1% of crypto is needed for your portfolio. Now it's like 3 to 5%. And now I'm hearing 10 to 15% should be in Bitcoin and crypto. So as they keep increasing that, and then they open it up to all these retirement products and 401ks and everything, I just don't see how there's not a supply shock, because it's not a futures ETF where they don't need to go market buy it. Futures in Bitcoin, when it launched in 2018, that was literally the top as soon as futures came out, because they could just short it endlessly.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, no, I think like these guys are still going to be doing some OTC like backroom deals where you don't see the chart move, but like they will dry up those opportunities pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to essentially buy it off Dexes, or somebody's going to have to buy it off Dexes to sell it to them. So it will all these ETFs will have a major impact on the price, short term and long term. But the short term could be huge, right? If any one of these, especially one of these smaller ones, like not Ethereum or Bitcoin, like hits, like it could have a lot of buy pressure on a relatively illiquid asset like HBAR or something. Like what happens when you buy $10 million of that? I'm guessing the price goes up.
Yes, exactly, dude. And I'm in a couple private groups that I pay into, and they have people in there that follow institutional deltas and stuff for trading. They follow the OTC desks and the dark pools, and they're all running extremely low, is what I'm hearing, that they're pretty much all tapped out. And that's why you're seeing exchange, the number of coins on exchanges start to dip, because they're having to start to go to exchanges now.
Right. Yeah. And then after exchanges, if these guys get smart, they'll start going to DeFi, right? And like start setting like, low V3 buy positions, or, that kind of thing. And actually like, finding a way, like, how can I scoop up, 10% of this, without talking to anybody else, without letting my competitors know that I'm going to do it, right? And without putting my assets at risk by dealing with some sketchy middleman, which is like a serious concern. We're running one of these ETFs. Like, would you want to talk to some shady exchange like MEXC and be like, okay, I'm moving in, $180 million, but I need you to send me this right away, right? Like, and trust that they would do it, when you could move like endless amounts, $500 million into real crypto in a decentralized fashion, press the buy button yourself and see it in your wallet like 30 seconds later, right? Like once they figure that out, I think it's going to hit.
So a lot of them have already. So I'm big into XRP and Flare, which is basically the platform that Flare has signed deals for every institution and every exchange to exclusively use Flare networks for their FXRP. So all these exchanges, enterprises, institutions, they take their XRP, they mint it into FXRP, and you can put it to work in DeFi. You can loan it out, but it never leaves your wallet. So they never have
Flare, if a chain, is it a protocol? Like,
yes.
what's this?
Flare's a layer 1 blockchain. And its specialty is it's interoperable with everyone. It brings a native Oracle on chain. And the DeFi platform that they are running with the XRP, they just allowed retail to start getting in. But Hugo Filion is the CEO of Flare, and I've been watching his interviews and stuff for 3 years. And in one of his last interview, he said with the deals they've signed, they're expecting 5 to 8 billion XRP on the Flare networks by Q1 next year.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a boring number.
Yeah. So there's going to be all of these institutions and Grayscale, BlackRock, they're all going to be using DeFi. They already have been using it. Like I remember all bear market talking about MetaMask Institutional, Hex Trust. All these companies were building out DeFi platforms in Web3 for all institutions, insurance companies, lists of businesses, but it was still too risky for retail.
Right. Yeah, that's just because they're trying to let their rich bros get in first.
Exactly, bro. That's exactly what's being done. And I'm excited, bro. I really think that we need to see in the next week or so, if it gets bad, Camel Finance is a great TA guy. If any of you guys are looking for a good cycle TA guy, and his predictions have been spot on for the last year since I've been following him. And his mid-cycle lows for right now are coming in between the 28th, November 2nd. So in the next 3 or 4 days, this should be the local bottom, and we should be moving up from here to the end of the year.
Camel Finance, great name.
Yeah, he's really good dude, really smart guy. He's been doing it for 20 plus years, and he's able to take emotion out of it and just look at it objectively. And I really like that.
Oh, yeah, I'm scrolling his page here. It looks like he's on the ball.
Yeah, he's really good. So like so Monday, he doesn't put videos out on the weekends, but Monday, like I'll be looking forward to that video. It comes out at like 6:30, 7 o'clock our time in the morning. So I watch it pretty much every morning, just see what he's talking about. And I really think this is it. This is the last little dip. And it's not coincidence that all these ETFs are launching right after, and there's going to be a big flow of liquidity. And I think this is the shift away from Bitcoin and ETH that's coming.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's time for a change. Most importantly, a change for Pulse Chain, in my opinion. But I hope some of these other chains do very well too, especially the ones like Flare. It sounds like those guys are building. Those guys are making deals. They're being grown-ups, and they're reaching out. They're talking to people. They're trying to do real stuff, right? And that's a big difference between what's happening in other markets.
Yeah, bro. And that's the thing. I've found XRP, and I heard about Flare, and the snapshot was in December of 2020 for Flare. And that's 5 years that I've been waiting for this. And the F assets literally went live 3 weeks ago. So all this stuff is that we've been speculating about and hoping for to see, it's all here right now. And I'm so excited, bro. We are about to see some things happen that nobody could have ever predicted.
Nice. So what was the snapshot of XRP?
Yeah, if you were holding XRP back in December of 2020, you got a 1-to-1 Flare for every XRP. And it ended up, they changed it because by the time the snapshot was taken in 2020 and the time the coins were being started to release in 2022, so many exchanges had already gone under after the Solana debacle that they changed the airdrop and said, all right, we're only going to do 15% up front instead of the whole thing. And the other 85%, in order for you to get it, you have to wrap your tokens and delegate them to qualify for the next 85% of the airdrops. So only like 20% max of people did it. So the rewards we got from the airdrops were double of what they would have, or what we would have gotten if it was 1-to-1. So it worked out phenomenal.
Okay, that's respectable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. I'm just a fan of passive income. I found Richard Hart first, and he's taught us exactly how to do stuff the right way, where we control our own assets, we become our own banks, and we eliminate middlemen. And there's so many incredible platforms across crypto that follow that motto, but we're just 6 months ahead on Pulse Chain of the whole industry. So when Pete Iotropa started popping off and we were creating all these new liquidity pools and figuring out ways to create passive income, that would happen 8 months later on the next chain or
I understand that stuff so much better than everybody else. Like I do some spaces with non-Pulse chainers, and like I am by default the tech guy the moment I walk in the room. And but you could be too, right? And 1,000 other guys I know on Pulse Chain, just because we've been doing this stuff since day one, and we've only got better at it since Pulse Chain launched.
Yeah. So that's the question. There are rumors that MEXC's having problems. True. Yeah, this is a problem right here. This guy's got $3.3 million frozen.
That's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard other people I know, people you would know on Pulse Chain have had this happen to them and have had their money stolen by MEXC.
Wow. Oh, so they gave him his money back. Okay. Then they made a huge
Probably
publicity.
only because he got public enough to make them do it.
And
Right?
look what happened, bro. That caused massive withdrawals from MEXC. Investors are actively pulling funds off MEXC, raising serious concerns. Social media is buzzing with rumors that the exchange may be insolvent or soon to collapse.
That could totally just be FUD, right? Created by the wave of them doing centralized bullshit, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't though, or it could be another FTX, right? They could have over leveraged and used people's funds to do like sketchy shit and lost, right? Like, which is what happened with FTX. Is in the background they were doing 50x leverage on the Bitcoin you gave them. They lost it half the time, and then it was just like a ledger. Like it was like they had an Excel spreadsheet where some guy wrote, "Oh, we owe George 5 Bitcoin." And but they never actually had the 5 Bitcoin to give back, right? They took your money and screwed you. So that's why use centralized exchanges like a porta potty. Get in and out as quick as you can. They have a purpose, but that is the purpose, right? It's to get in, it's to get out of decentralized finance, and there's other better ways to do that too. Like Toast, for example, you can with Pulse Chain through. You're in the States, you have. Old Glory Bank, you can move like directly from fiat to Pulse Chain using Old Glory Bank. That's cool.
Did you see that Sam Bankman after CZ got a pardon that SBF is looking for a pardon now?
I bet he is. Yeah, because he's doing actual time. CZ got a slap on the wrist. What was it? 3 months, 6 months, was it?
Yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So not, but like, yeah, like Ponzi King there, he's going to be in jail for a while.
But if they let him out, that would be disgusting. Like if he pays his way out of this shit, that's bad. They can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Say if that would be a bottom signal or a top signal.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Well, he's got political connections, though. We know that. Though he's got political connections on the wrong side of the bench right now, is my understanding.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And I think that there would be an outrage from the public because there were people that took their own lives after they lost everything with that. So I don't think it would happen. I pray it doesn't happen.
Indeed.
Yeah. So we've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes. Anything else that you got? You feel like we missed anything?
I think we went over all the good stuff of what's happening this week. I'll just remind people that running a contest right now, thousands of dollars in prizes. All you have to do is join a Telegram room, and if you want to post a meme, you can get more.
Yep, I will put your post in the chat here, so if people want to go directly to it, there's the link. If you are a meme creator, feel free to put your best out there.
You bet. And if you're not a meme creator, just join the Telegram room, check it out. You don't have to do anything. There's already been a fake Telegram room created by scammers though, which happens. So I'm going to post the correct Telegram room chat here. If you go into a Telegram room, look through the members list. If you don't see the people that you think you should see in there, that's one of the ways you're tipped off. This is not a real Telegram room. Scammers will make fake rooms, but they'll even copy people's images, right? So you go into the Somi room and be like a new Telegram room, and like Somi is an admin in the room, and so is Fast Abdul and a bunch of people you recognize. That's often a way they scam you too. So if like the admin list is like all like people that you recognize, maybe that's also not right. So just be really careful, especially when anything where you're connecting your wallet to something, or where somebody DMs you and asks for your private keys, right? Or your seed phrase, like 100% a scam every time.
Or even if somebody DMs you, and any time you get a DM from someone, right now it's going to be an AI bot. I've been responding to them on Twitter and on Telegram just to see what it's like. And you used to be able to tell instantly a year or so ago. And now they're so good that I don't know, they're not processing what you write, but their responses look so human now. It's very hard to tell. So anytime you could literally go put a comment on Twitter on someone's tweet and be like, hey man, I'm having problems with MEXC. Do you know what's going on here? And you will literally get 10 DMs in your inbox from MEXC support, all these different supports saying, hey, if you need help or whatever. So nobody is ever going to DM you. Nobody's ever going to send you a text message saying your seed phrase was compromised or your password was changed. Everything is a scam, guys. There's no customer support, no service desk for anything in crypto.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah. A scammer will contact you with detailed instructions, but it won't work out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right, with 401 of you in here now. If you're not subscribed to Vibra Finance or following, please give a follow. If you're not following Fast, give him a follow, and definitely join the Telegram group for the vault and get into the contest there. Who wouldn't want to win?
Share this video on Twitter, guys. There's just a couple buttons. Just press the thumbs up button, press the share button, press X, press post. That's all you have to do to double the view of this video, which if you're watching this right now is probably going to be good for your bags.
Indeed. Well said, sir. Congrats on the vault launch. Looking great, and looks like you got some exciting plans and updates coming for the future. So hopefully keeps going well for you.
Excellent. Thanks, Adam.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. We will see you next Friday for some more Pulse Chain Alpha.
Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Vibra got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. That's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibra Finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibra Finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibra got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.